Today's video has been sponsored by Car Vertical, and my BMW M140i has gone on longer than enough. We need to get this thing finished and on the road today. Now, in the last video, I managed to get the bonnet and the whole of this passenger side wrapped in this sort of Laguna Blue colour, and it only costs £325 for the wrap for the whole car. Now, I have been busy, and yesterday I managed to get the whole of the driver's side wrapped, which means we've only got a few more little bits left. Well, kind of. We've got door handles, petrol cap, the boot lid, the rear bumper, and of course the front M2 bumper. And all of those parts just tend to be the parts which take the longest, so enough talking, let's crack on with it. So the M2 style rear bumper doesn't actually have a detachable rear diffuser. It is just part of the bumper, and just by looking at it I can tell it would be very difficult to wrap. So I've masked it off, and we're just going to go at it with the rattle can and hope for the best. So first off with a layer of primer, and whilst we wait for that to dry, I can then begin to start to do the boot lid of the 140i. Now, as I've mentioned 100 times before, you have to really be in the right mind frame to wrap a car and really take your time and have a lot of patience. And I could spend hours and weeks wrapping a car, and there'll still be someone that finds the smallest imperfection and lets me know about it. And as it does take so long, Kevin's going to have to find a new playmate. Back on with a layer of gloss back on the rear diffuser, and it's starting to look okay. Boot lid is now finished, and then we're on to the petrol cap. These smaller parts can become a little bit fiddly, but if you take your time, it turns out okay. Then with another layer of gloss black and a layer of lacquer on the rear diffuser, then back in to do the door handles. Door handles are tricky to wrap and also tricky to film being wrapped as well. Diffuser's all done, time to mount the rear bumper to the car. Give it a wipe down with some alcohol. Then we can begin the inlays on the rear bumper. We do this because if we lay one huge piece down, it wouldn't actually bend into the crevices. So I've just inlaid into the number plate spot. Then we can lay the huge one piece of wrap over the back of the rear bumper. I tend to just work outwards from the body lines, using as little heat as possible. Then once the rear bumper is done, it's on with the lights, on with the registration plate, and that is looking really good. Okay, oh my god, this has been ultimate graft. It's taken so long to get to this point right now, but it's looking good. It's looking really good so far. Okay, so finally the left side and the right side are now wrapped, and also the rear of the car. That is looking so sick on the back now. With the wiper delete as well, you wouldn't have even known that a wiper was there or a hole was even there. Done a pretty good job if I do say so myself. And then also the rattle can job on the rear diffuser as well. I don't think that looks too bad. It sort of suits nicely in with the black tints on the back as well as the black roof as well. But next up is the part that I've been dreading this whole time of wrapping the 140, and that's this M2 front bumper. Now this M2 bumper has a lot of creases, curves and bends in it, which means that wrap doesn't like to stick to it. So we're going to have to place a lot of inlays in all of these curves and twists to make sure that the wrap does actually stick. Before we do the inlays, I've got to strip apart the bumper. That means taking all the grills out, all the parking sensors out, and the towing eye as well. Then we've got a base we can work from. Then we can go onto the inlays. So let's crack on with it. Wish me luck.
I've been on the road, I've been doing shows. Now we eating steak, remember sleeping on the floor. We're still at the gas station when the time was cold.
So once we remove all the grills, the parking sensors and the badges, we can begin the inlays.
Take my dog away, it was way too hard to stay composed.
You have to just tactically place these inlays where you think that one whole piece of wrap wouldn't stretch into.
I don't want to live life fast or die too young.
Okay, look at the mess I'm working in. But we've got pieces all along the bottom. That should be enough. This has been probably the most challenging bumper I've ever done. It's just so many bends and twists in it. Right, now onto the big, huge piece, which will cover the full bumper, and then we can finally start putting the 140i back together. Oh, wish me luck. Here goes the big bit. So it's on with the huge one piece, which is about 3 meters long, and the inevitable happened. It was getting a little bit colder that night, and as I pulled the wrap, the thing split, which means that whole 3 meters has gone to waste. So I had to start that whole full piece again, but this time with help from Hannah.
Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. Right back where I left because I know my people needed me. Diamond in the rough, I don't know what it is they see in me. Go down as a legend.
At about 10:30 at night, we were finished.
Spread the wealth around the block, no, I can't keep from me.
Okay, so yesterday completely battered me. I don't know what it was with that front bumper. It just took so long. It was almost like 4 hours worth of work, at least 4 hours worth of work on that bumper. And it's not much different to the M4 bumper. And this bumper was quite easy to do. So I don't know what went on there. The cold start on that is extremely loud every time. Now, before we go finish the 140i, we've got to go and get some new wheels for the E46 M3. When I say new, I mean used wheels. Now, normally we will go to Wheelmania, which is where we normally get all the wheels for all the cars, but we're trying to do like a original restoration on the E46 M3, so hence why we're going to buy used wheels, which sort of brings me on to today's sponsor, Car Vertical. Now, Car Vertical is currently working in over 20 different countries. It gathers data from car insurances, car auction websites, and car maintenance databases as well, to make sure the car that you're buying is not a lemon like most of mine. Now, unfortunately, you can't check used wheels on there, but you can check used cars, just like my Maserati. So I've just put in the Maserati's registration, and straight away I can see an amber light for an accident. I can scroll down on the check, I can see that the mileage is all in the right order, I can see that there's no reports for theft, but there is a report for damage on the Maserati. I can also see when the car was last listed and the price it was listed for as well, and even the photographs of the listing as well. Here it is before I put the wide body on it. But just to show you what a good check looks like, here's my Lamborghini Gallardo. As you can see, all the checks come back green, no mileage fraud, no theft, no accidents, and the car's not been used as a taxi. So thanks Car Vertical for sponsoring today's video, and you guys can go check out yourselves with a link in the description box below, and you'll also save 10% off when you use my link. Right, let's get these wheels in the car. Okay, so these are BMW CSL style alloys. Yes, I'm a scumbag, I didn't get genuine ones, but these were the best ones I could find in the best condition off Facebook Marketplace. A 9.5J on the rear, 8.5J on the front, so they're sort of like OEM sort of spec, and obviously they need tyres, but I think these are going to look really good against the Laguna Blue on the E46. We just need tyres. Now they are gonna look a lot better. We just need tyres. Right, enough of the E46. We have got to finish the 140i up. It looks like the bumper, which has been made up of 1,000 pieces, has held up overnight. So as you can see, you can just see the pieces in there, where a piece in that bit, and then obviously in there as well. And then down on this lower bit, if I'm right, there is a piece along there. It's barely noticeable, but it took a lot of work. Now, I am thinking of these bars in the middle. I think maybe, do I do them white or do I leave them black? I'm sort of edging to do them white. I don't know. But we're at the point now where we can put this thing back together. I'm doing them white, come on. So, I was on a mission to basically wrap the world. I decided to do the support bars in white. Yes, to some people, it might not be to your liking, but that's the whole point of car modification. If everyone liked it, we'd all have the same car. Another thing I wanted to do before I put the car back together was just paint the rear brake cups, as I'd already done the front and it looked odd on the rear. So I just went at it with a wire brush and some hammerite. And whilst I waited for that to dry, I could go to the front and start putting the headlights in. Once the headlights are all bolted in, I can then go back onto the front bumper, put all the grills back in, the parking sensors and the wiring at the back. Before lifting the bumper finally back onto the 140i. I love it when it all comes together. Then in we go with the arch lining, and we're about reaching the final stage. Okay, we are on the home straight now. It is looking really good and I am literally chuffed to bits with it at the minute, and that's even before getting it outside and this next part. So everything is on at the minute, everything is wrapped as well. So we've got the arch lining in as well, we've got the front bumper on with all the trims and then the white sort of kidney bars as well. I really like the look of them in there. Just sort of those little things which sort of count towards this build. And speaking of the little things, this is where it gets that little bit interesting. So here is a carbon front splitter from AUTOID. The link's in the description for those guys. Shout out to them. We've also got side skirts to match as well. We've got a nice little flick on the end. That's going to look really good. And just give it that wider look. Not that we need it on the front, but it's just going to give that little extra aggression with the carbon bits as well. So let's get this fitted. Now you guys have seen me put splitters on 100 times over, so you should know exactly what we're doing by now. We line it up with the toolbox and then we just go at it with the self-tappers. There must be around 15 self-tappers in the bottom of this splitter and they've never let me down. Now on we go with the wheels because we have to get the car off the ramp to put the side skirt extensions on. Then we can line up the side skirt extensions. These were a little bit easier than usual because they're only small and at the rear of the car. Little inspection from Kevin and we're all good to go. Do you know what? This does look really good. Now that it's outside in the natural light, the colour goes so well with the wheels. If I see a get black wheels coming, I will be offended. But you know what? Well, I need to see what you guys think first. Okay, how good does that look? It looks so fresh. It's completely transformed the car. And do you know what? It has taken me weeks to do, but it just gives me that more job satisfaction that it has taken me weeks to do because now it feels like I've actually accomplished something. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This blue is more of like a Miami blue than a Laguna Blue on the E46. It is a lot brighter. I think I still got to do some lining up with the panels. I think that's a little bit off there, but we can do that afterwards. But these splitters, the carbon splitters from AUTOID and also the side skirts as well. We do have mirror units as well, but I will get onto them at a later date. But I think that is looking so good now. Look at the gloss black, just pops so nicely against that blue. And again, if I hear any gloss black wheel comments, I'm going to be offended. I think those silver wheels look absolutely mint against that. And my rattle can job on the back, it's looking good. I like it. And also I forgot to mention two things before we get this thing on the road. The new Hard Work Beats Talent long line t-shirts in white. I think it just looks fresh against the 140i as well. And also one more thing which could really benefit you guys as well. This PlayStation 5, this is going to be given away to one of you guys. Hannah is actually behind it. This is going to be given away to one of you guys completely free. It is a free competition and there's a link in the description. High speed competitions are giving that away completely free, no strings attached. And I think you guys should get there early and just keep an eye on high-speed competitions, if you know what I mean. Nod, nod, wink, wink. But at least this thing is on the road now and ready to go and looking fresh, because this car has got so much potential. We don't know whether it's been remapped yet or not. I know I've got a downpipe on it, so we are ready for the stage 2 map. We probably will get it on the dyno in the next video and just find that out and see if we can add a little tune on there. But there is a lot more to do, and there's a lot of potential with this 140i. Now it feels good to be back driving the 140i. It's like a massive blue bubble now. We do still have that engine light on the dashboard there. I think that is to do with the downpipe, but other than that, it's driving well, and I'm pretty sure it's been remapped. It's got to have been. This thing is actually so quick. It's literally like a mini M4, but lighter and nimble. I don't know whether it's faster, but the M4's like 540 odd bhp. We're yet to find out what this is going to be, but we'll find out in the next video, I'm sure. But now, this thing looks as good as it goes now. Now this thing really does brighten up the road. Like, the sun is just about going down now, and it is so bright. It stands out so much on the road. What a little pocket rocket that 140i is, and it is about to be. We are nowhere near where we want this thing to be. But I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with about 2 weeks worth of work on this so far. But again, thanks guys for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.